Sometimes it's the simplest medical inventions that have the biggest impact on patient lives, like a company that designed magnetic buttons so that people with cerebral palsy can dress themselves. This pill timer can also help patients with memory problems know when they last opened their medication. And self-balancing spoons allow Parkinson's and stroke patients to feed themselves despite having tremors. Finally, there's this font for dyslexic patients that makes characters more unique so that they're easier to read.
Mostrame un video que haga preguntarte cosas. Empiezo yo.
My experience is, you go talk to kindergarten kids or first grade kids, you find a class full of science enthusiasts, and they ask deep questions. What is a dream? Why do we have toes? Why is the moon round? What's the birthday of the world? Why is grass green? These are profound, important questions. They just bubble right out of them. You go and talk to 12th grade students, and there's none of that. They've become leaden and incurious. Something terrible has happened between kindergarten and 12th grade, and it's not just puberty.
And you're a nerd if you love science in the 12th grade, right?
Absolutely.
Top of the juice bottle, when it's on securely, just let the balloon go. If you turn the bottle upside down and squeeze it repeatedly, you can see the flour transfers easily without making any mess. Alright, let's pinch the neck of the balloon and pull it off the bottle so we can let the air out, but it'll be important to pinch it off again before it starts spewing out flour dust. We still need to get as much air out of the balloon as we can, and massaging the base will help compress the flour and move any trapped gases to the top. At this point you should be able to let go and the flour will stay neatly inside the balloon. Okay, to get ready for the next step, let's carefully clean the outside of the balloon with a damp cloth, then slowly and carefully use a pair of scissors to cut the excess off the top. While that's settling down, it's a good time to prepare the other balloons by cutting the ends off them as well. When you pull them open, you should be able to get all your fingers inside, and if you stretch them open wide enough to place the center over the flour ball, then wrap it around to the underside, it'll seal the flour inside and hold everything together firmly. You can remove any little ripples by pulling the edges until it looks nice and smooth. Now, if you want to make sure this never comes apart...
Escuta essa.
Luísa, o ovo não é permitido no veganismo, né? Explica pra gente qual que é a visão dos veganos a respeito do ovo.
Bom, os veganos não comem nada que vem de origem animal, nada que vem de exploração. O ovo, pra quem não sabe, é a menstruação da galinha.
Bom, vamos lá. Tentaram derrubar a minha reação para esse vídeo, então eu fiz questão de voltar aqui e tentar de novo. Até porque não foi só a Luísa Mel que disse isso.
Gente, que comida nojenta. Você sabia que ovo é menstruação de galinha? Sim, você come a menstruação da galinha.
Bom, então vamos lá. O ovo realmente é a menstruação da galinha? Para começarmos a discutir sobre esse assunto, precisamos entender um pouco a fisiologia do processo de reprodução das aves. As aves são animais ovíparos, como você já deve saber, ou seja, eles colocam ovos. A cópula das aves consiste basicamente na justaposição das cloacas desses animais e a transferência dos espermatozoides do macho para a fêmea. Esse espermatozoide irá encontrar o gameta feminino e aí a gente vai ter a fecundação. Após a fecundação, o embrião seguirá por algumas cavidades, onde será alocado no interior de um ovo com nutrição e proteção. Beleza, Iago, o básico eu já entendi, eu já sabia, mas aonde entra a menstruação nesse processo? Essa explicação que eu dei anteriormente é a respeito de ovos galados. Como assim, Iago? Eu não estou entendendo nada. Ovos galados são ovos que foram fecundados por um galo. Se esses ovos forem cuidados, eles poderão gerar no futuro um pintinho. Ué, mas então existe algum outro tipo de ovo? Sim, com certeza, existem os ovos que não são galados. Esses ovos não foram fecundados, ou seja, a fêmea produz um ovo sem um gameta masculino, sem um galo, que são normalmente os ovos que a gente come. Então calma aí, deixa eu ver se eu entendi. Você está falando que as galinhas conseguem produzir ovos sem um pintinho lá dentro? Exatamente isso, e era justamente nesse ponto que eu queria chegar. Esses ovos não galados são produzidos constantemente, mesmo que eu não tenha um processo de fecundação. As mulheres fazem algo muito parecido. Elas liberam gametas que não foram fecundados pela menstruação. Mas até que ponto podemos chamar um ovo não galado de menstruação? O processo fisiológico até pode ter o mesmo princípio, mas chamar de menstruação? A menstruação nos humanos consiste na liberação de um óvulo não fecundado e toda a preparação do útero para uma eventual gravidez, ou seja, a descamação do endométrio em outras palavras. Enquanto que nas aves, nós não teremos apenas o óvulo que não foi fecundado, teremos gema, clara, nutrientes, anticorpos, calasa, entre outros componentes. Enfim, o objetivo do vídeo não foi em nenhum momento criticar o veganismo. mas eu acredito que o termo menstruação ele não se encaixa às áreas.
A little while ago, I've dissolved something called hexamethylene diamine in water, and I added it to a beaker. On top of this, I added a solution of adipoyl chloride in cyclohexane, and I was very careful to not let them mix. Then, with some tweezers, I was able to pull out some white goo. This was actually all just nylon plastic, but I still felt that it looked kind of nasty. What I didn't try in that video, though, and what I think could be cool, is to add something called fluorescein. This is a dye, and as a solid it's red, but when a small amount of it's dissolved, it fluoresces green, especially under a black light. I can then carefully add the second solution on top, again making sure to not let them mix. After this, I should be good to go, and I can turn off the lights. Then, like the other time, I can try pulling out the nylon. After spinning it for a while, I'm eventually done, and I have a blob of nylon. It's filled with a bunch of solvent, though, and I'm not really sure what to do with it.
Is body armor acidic or alkaline? Acidic.
What feels illegal in math but really isn't?
Amazing and elegant solution to the following problem. A king has 1,000 wine bottles and 10 prisoners, and he wants to use those prisoners to figure out which wine bottle contains the poison. Now there are a few problems. Number 1, he needs to figure this out by tomorrow when he's having a party. Number 2, the poison takes effect 24 hours after consumption, at which point it kills the individual suddenly. This means that he only has time for one round of testing. And the question is, how can he administer the wine to the prisoners so that 24 hours later, he's guaranteed to find the poisoned wine bottle? It sounds impossible, but there is an elegant solution to this. But before I pose the solution, I want to hear your idea.
I just got out of my radical feminist geology course's final exam, and it was absolute chaos. At the end of the exam, everybody turns in their papers and it's all fine. The professor gets up, turns off the lights, and turns on the projector. An image of the one and only Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson goes up on screen. But no, it's not an image. It's one of those cameo videos where you can pay a celebrity to read a script for you. In front of 200 students for 10 minutes, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson proceeds to name each and every student and their grade. Everyone except for me. I go up to the professor. I'm like, is there a reason why The Rock didn't say my name and my grade? And she was like, he's going to tell you later. Am I going to meet The Rock?
This little gas cylinder is filled with extremely flammable hydrogen gas, and I really want to light some of it on fire. To get the hydrogen out of the tank, though, I first need to add a regulator. Now I can attach a balloon and carefully open the valve. As the balloon fills with the hydrogen, it starts lifting up, just like it would with helium. The only difference is that hydrogen is even lighter than helium, and a lot more dangerous. Helium alone is almost completely inert, and when I tried lighting a balloon of it on fire, it wasn't super impressive. This, however, is what happens when I try it with the hydrogen balloon.
This is a jar full of remora. They're those fish that stick to sharks and whales. But how do they stick? Well, let's take a closer look. So they don't have suction cups on their bellies like I thought. But what about on the top of their heads? Ooh, do you see those folds and flaps? When they're underwater, remoras can squeeze those flaps like muscles, suctioning themselves onto the surface of another animal. And when they release those flaps, they let go.